It's the J Bass Today Show. Get ready to ride. Season's greetings. God bless you to each of you. Welcome to the J Bass Today Show. I guess this is kind of behind the scenes, but today this is the actual show. It is actually almost 4 o'clock p.m. The show is supposed to air at 2 p.m. However, I had a cardiology MRI appointment that lasted much longer than I anticipated, and so I should have gone ahead and recorded last night and didn't, and so I am just now filming, and I'm gonna go ahead and film while I am on the road so that I can go ahead and get this uploaded as soon as possible. I am just so grateful to God. I'm first grateful right now to be driving this 6-speed manual transmission. I've just been really enjoying shifting these gears to finally have this prayer answered. It is something that I have desired to have again. And now that I have it, I am grateful. Lord, I'm grateful from volume 7 that's playing in the background. Y'all can't hear it because I don't want y'all to hear it, but I can hear it, and I'm being encouraged. Wait a minute. That was too big of a pullout. I kind of get stirred up. I do good when it's nobody around, but then when I'm having to pull out in front of folk, then I try to get on out there and kind of mess up. But this is the 5th episode after the year-end episode. So this is episode 57. And I'm so grateful. Even as I said, as the song is playing, that God just keeps on keeping, keeps sustaining. This season of my life is marked by so many health things going on. I was thinking I have so many ologists and doctors and specialists that I'm seeing for so many various reasons, and I honor God, that I can see them and get some help and get some assistance with these physical and internal concerns. But it's just so much. It's so much. I have such a litany of appointments scheduled. And all I can do is just thank God that He's looking out for me, that this body's being taken care of, because things could be going wrong and not be able to do anything to take care of it. But thank God for the resources. And especially special thanks to God for UTMB as a whole, to be able to have multiple doctors in the same network so that they are able to see what one another sees and is doing. And so I give God praise, I give Him glory, I give Him the honor and the praise that things are as well as they are. And okay, well, that wasn't worth anything. And so I guess this is my first piece of encouragement for somebody. It really is a life change. And I was thinking, to be dealing with so much at 42 I've heard of others, dealing with so much. And I just, golly, the thought of some of the things that you hear of others dealing with. But when you were given a good body and had very little sickness as a child and didn't have a lot of problems, and you start getting older, things change. And I was thinking about those changes that take place, and they're inevitable. Change is inevitable. It's going to happen whether we want it or not. And everything changes. Nothing remains the same, and that is something to really adapt to, because a lot of us, I've realized, can get stuck because we do not want to adapt to change. But you've got to know that change is something that each of us is going to experience whether we want to or not. And so it is best to just be adaptable, to be able to move forward with whatever changes need to be made. You got to start making doctor appointments and doing new things that you're not used to doing. Well, you got to do it. You just got to do it. And that's part of life. And so be it. Lord have mercy, so be it. Ooh-wee. Continue to move forward, and we grow and we progress. So I thank God for that. I'm trying to think of what I really have to talk about today. Being in the hospital most of the week last week, and then going back this week. Thankfully, it was only for a few days. Only basically 2.5 days. Versus the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days. I honor him for letting me get on out so that I could take care of things. So I would have missed this MRI appointment today and had to reschedule. Had they not let me out, but thank God. I'm on the move, out getting things taken care of, and giving God the glory as I'm singing in the background again. Something that goes along with what I'm talking about. Now Chosen for a Purpose is playing. It really is a blessing to be chosen for a purpose. And to have some kind of purpose in this life, and to be able to walk in it and live in it and move forward in it. Because it could be the other way. It really could be the other way, walking around purposeless, wondering what it is that God would have for you to do. And I remember when I was wondering what my purpose was, and I prayed. I didn't think I'd get to a low moment that would cause it to be revealed, but God had a plan. He had a purpose, and now I know. And even as we go into the studio and work and get these songs knocked out, I just thank God to be on purpose. And I want to thank you again to those of you in my community who have been sowing, who have been participating in the fundraisers to help us raise the funds that we need in order to get these CD projects done. I'll testify. Not only were we able to pay off Volume 7 much earlier than I anticipated. We are much further ahead in our payments on Volume 8 than I anticipated. I have saved up so much already from the fundraisers, and I want to thank you again to the community, because even though I am putting back, especially when I have extra events and things, I put back quite a bit of extra, and it still is not enough, and so the community is certainly making up, and I appreciate that. It means more than I can put into words, because again, I just shared that this is my life's purpose we're talking about. The thing that helps me get up in the morning and move forward with purpose, knowing that I have something to do, I have something to accomplish, that God does have me here for a reason. And when he told me music, the music that he has used me to write, I know there are so many other songwriters and people who do this and have some amazing music. But for me, the music that God has given me is what gives me sustaining life, honestly. I mean, God sustains my life, but it sustains the fact of me even pushing forward and giving it another chance and moving forward. And I give God all of the glory for that, because again, it could be I'm depressed and down and out and in the dumps and purposeless, not knowing what to do. But I'm grateful that as a middle-aged black man, that I do know what my purpose is, and I am moving forward in it. And so I think that day happened in my 20s, where I realized that the music that God had given me was the reason that I needed to continue to live. And so I just want to, again, this is my second encouragement, and you know that in this show we are encouraged to encourage, and that encouragement is, I've heard this before, and I'm just sharing it again, and prayerfully in a new, fresh way. You know where you've been, but you have no clue where you're going. You don't know what God has in store for you. And I think about the times that I've wanted to commit suicide and be done with the life, that I would have forfeited this amazing season of my life, in spite of the health challenges and all of the quote-unquote negative challenges that are going on. There's so many blessings, so much favor that I'm seeing, things that I would not have been able to experience had I taken my own life. And so I give God the glory, I give God the honor, and I give him the praise for keeping me and sustaining me, and knowing that there was something greater in my future worth living for. And so I just want to encourage somebody else. You don't know what God has in store for you. And I'm sure, I just wholeheartedly believe, especially if this is what he has in store for my life and has had in store for my life, that there's something greater in store for you as well. There's a reason you've been kept. There's a reason you've been sustained. Oftentimes we don't think about the fact that it took something. It has taken a lot, in fact, for us to make it to this point of our lives. If you've made it to adulthood, you've been through a lot. You have overcome a lot. In fact, it's all started during a time where you could not feed yourself, you could not clothe yourself. There was nothing that you could do for yourself. You were totally vulnerable. And God had angels in the form of parents and guardians and those who looked out for us, who took care of us to help us get to this point in our lives. And so God, again, allowed those angels to be there to take care of us in that vulnerable stage of our life. And I've heard this and witnessed this, that humans are vulnerable the longest in the quote-unquote animal kingdom. And so to have someone take care of us for so long, to help us and help make and mold us and teach us and train us, that's a blessing. And all of that investment did not take place for nothing. I know it sometimes seems like we're useless. It seems like we have no purpose. It seems like nobody wants us around, and that others would be better off if we're dead. But that is a trick of the enemy. And if we would just keep living, oftentimes we'll begin to see why God kept us. People come up to me nowadays and encourage me about how I encourage them, because I keep pressing in spite of the litany of things that I'm dealing with. And to see the amount of successes that I am experiencing, it does encourage others. And so that's worth continuing to live, because ultimately the prayer of Jabez is, I pray that you receive all of the glory. When it's all said and done, when my life is over, it is my prayer that God receives and has received all of the glory out of this life, that it was not lived in vain, but that it was lived on purpose with God in mind, and him ultimately receiving all of the glory. And so honestly, even though that's the prayer of Jabez, in my mind, it should be all of our prayer, that God gets the glory out of our lives. I just wrote a song about it and entitled it The Prayer of Jabez. And so I just wanted to come on for a little while. Like I said, the appointment caused me to miss uploading this episode on time. And so I wanted to, as soon as I got out, to go ahead and record and make this available so that we can stay on track with this week's episode. And so I pray that you have been blessed. There have been multiple words of encouragement. And so I pray that whoever needed and needs this word of encouragement and these words of encouragement, that you have received what you need in order to keep going. I haven't done my little jingle in a long time, but keep going, keep going, keep going. You gotta keep going, keep going, keep going. No matter what, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, God bless you all. Y'all have an amazing Thursday evening, and I'll holla. It's the Jabez Today Show.